So yes, there is one thing, right, that's really important, right? There's this one thing that I may be repeating over and over again, but you guys may not have, you know, understood it fully as yet, or have built enough faith in this concept as yet, right? So precision swing points, right? This is what you need to understand, and this is, pretty much what you've been seeing. And I know that you know this, right? Precision swing points control basically almost every turning point of the, that occurs within the marketplace. It doesn't matter which asset class that you're looking at. It's there. Whenever you see the market turns around, it's there. It has to be there, right? And this is something that is not common knowledge, right? I'm pretty sure that less than 5,000 people on the planet right now even know what a precision swing point is. Literally. Like, that's how crazy it is right now. You are very early. You're lucky to have this knowledge, right? And in all honesty, right, we have more things that we'll be going into, right, next year. And don't worry about it. You don't have to complain. It'll be free for you. You don't have to pay anything next year, as I've said before, forever, right? As long as I'm breathing, right? We will be here discussing price action, tearing the market apart and putting it back together again. That's all we do, right? That's our business. We're market mechanics. And that's what comes with the title. Precision swing points are not just the color of the candle, but the shape as well. Correct. That is correct. But that is something that many people will find hard to understand, and they'll find it hard to see that as well. But with practice, you will realize, right? Because you will have a candle that has a large body and minimum wicks, and then you will have another candle that just has barely has any body at all, but mostly being wicks. That too is a cracking correlation. That when looking at that, even if it's both of them are up close candles, you'll see reversals. Right? They are not as strong as when you have opposing candles. When you have a candle being up close, a candle being down close, not as strong as that, but they are important. Right? And I have some questions. Ode, why won't you be as active in, after the coming year? It's because, I have other things to take care of, and it has nothing to do with you guys, right? I'll still be here. We will still be having all of these sessions every week, right? Unless it's like, Christmas week or something like that, where you have to take a break and have time with your family, but we will still be here, right? Even when I am not, attentive to the public, I'll be attentive to, you guys in private. So, you don't have to worry about, he won't be here. He won't be with us, talking to us. We won't have communication with him. I will always be here, right? It's my priority to be here for you, right? You deserve this. You're the first group. You're the OGs. The OGs, you have the OGs, right? First ever. They have people from March Intake. I still classify you guys as OGs, but not as, deep as the guys that first joined, if you understand. right? And some of you guys are asking a lot of, deep questions. They all make sense. You need to understand that everything that you have in your mind right now is there for a reason. Those questions are not random. You are just discovering things that you don't even, understand the importance of yet. Right? You need to understand. I've been going through all of these things that I have right now for over 5 years. Right? And every year I have new discoveries, and the same thing will happen for you. I'm not talking about ICT, I'm talking about quarterly theory. I'm not talking about supply and demand, I'm talking about quarterly theory. Right? Basically, the only thing that actually works, the only thing that you can have confidence in, it is insane. You know that it's insane, and if you're here and you're not, profitable as yet or as profitable as you want to be, that is just a, issue that you have, a mental issue that you just need to work on, a psychological issue. It's just a me issue. Let's just say that. You know what to do, but when you are in the process of doing it, you slip up sometimes, and that's okay. That's going to happen. You should not worry about failing per se, right? You should just work, do what you're doing. If you fail, brush it off, it's fine. I'll do better the next time. That's the mentality that you need to have, right? I've said this before in the interview with Riz. I said it with you guys, right? Where I came from, like, I had nothing, man. Nothing at all. I mean, I grew up in Jamaica. I just went to a regular school. My parents were not rich. They were struggling, but they just tried to make it seem like they were not struggling. Right? And they shipped me off to, I studied law, got my degree, realized that it didn't make sense. Was, going to law school, dropped out. Then just started to focus on trading. I have to give credit to ICT. He's the one that guided me to Larry Williams, which he is the GOAT. Everything in his book is truth, in my opinion. It works for me. Right? Went from working in a warehouse, fucking throwing tires, sorry about my language, but literally throwing tires, working minimum wage, to, literally becoming a millionaire. Literally, that's what it is. And everyone here, do you have some of you guys that are doing it already? Right? And the thing about that is, it's not that I don't like it, this thing, but you guys need to, help each other, right? The community right now, it's getting compact, small, there's like 500 and something of you guys, which I can't believe that so much of you guys are still here, because we don't take new members at all, right? And coming next year, right, I will be trying to, focus on this group, because as I said, the year after, I probably won't be here. Well, in the public eye that much. I have a lot of other things dealing with. Right? So, you guys need to step up. The guys that are, you're making 6 figures a month. You guys, you send me the thing, your screenshots, your statements, bank statements, everything. You need to be here encouraging, the guys in the group that are not, as successful as you are. And the reason why you are that successful, right? The reason why you are that successful is just because you have been, you know, deep into, trading for, I'd say, around 5 years before coming here. So the fact that you came here made everything easier for you because you realized that, okay, I need to filter out all of these things. What should I focus on? Precision swing points, sequential SMT, and that's it. That's really it. That's literally what it is. When I say precision swing points, sequential SMT, precision gaps, oh, you do not expect that, did you? Right, precision gaps for your entries. You can literally enter, right? And the outsiders will not know how to do this. You can literally enter like right before a gap fills and not expect it to fill based off of another gap being filled. Using the precision gap, right? These things that we talk about, they work. These things that we talk about, they are unmatched to anything else. There is nothing else on the planet that you can bring here, right? And the reason that, and I think it's a silly reason, right, why I probably am not ever going to be talking about these things in public is due to the fact that it's just weird that whenever you talk about something, right, it's like it gets nerfed. Right? Whenever you put a concept out there, it's like, oh, the market's just, begin to understand that, oh, he talked about it. So, yes, as Jules said, method terminated. Right? And this is the reason why I have held back so much things for this entire year. Right? But it will be shared. And then I know that there are some of you here that even when I share certain things, you'll still go out and you'll share everything that I talk about. But that's okay, right? We live once, YOLO, whatever. But understand that you're only, hurting yourself, right? You can use these things for your own personal gain. You can teach them to your family members, your children. You can, just keep them to yourself, and, everything might turn out better for you. Anyways, with that being said, let's dive into the charts. So yes, as you guys can see, right, we basically spoke about everything pertaining to the economic calendar already. Here you can see today we had a bank holiday, US bank holiday, right? Which basically I did nothing. Most of you guys, I probably did nothing, but there are some of you guys that, did something. You were successful today. Congrats. You don't need to follow me. You can trade in bank holidays, of course, as long as you have sequence MT or precision swing point, you can find a setup. What do I mean by that? Yeah, sequence MT, you can find a setup there, right? Once you have either one of those, you have a 50% chance on your side already. So it's like, understand, with just a precision swing point already, just looking at a precision swing point, 50%, price will go in the direction that, you should be anticipating based on the precision swing point. Once you have that, you build upon, that as a base. So you start using everything, your mirror premium discount, your value gaps, you wait for sequential T, any other concept that, you find fulfills your model, right? And that would just make, just based off of a precision swing point or sequential T, more probable. Even just price falling below a true open, more probable. Oh, a precision swing point formed on the, 1 hour time frame, I drop down to the 5-minute time frame where the 90-minute cycle rolls. Price goes below the true open of the New York session. 75% accuracy already. So today we will be focusing on just the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, right? Well, here we have the Dow as well, but mainly we're just focused on the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, right? So as we talked about before, we were and we are, in bullish conditions, right? Even though we can see that price has been, a bit choppy here, which is okay, right? This is something that usually happens before reversals, and don't take that lightly. Every time, whenever I say something like that, I mean it, right? This is something that usually happens before price reverses, right? Which, yes, we should expect a reversal whenever we have a persistent swing point or sequence T, which follows a lower time frame cycle correlation. So here you can see price barely poking above this high. I do not consider this, something that is relevant as yet, right? If the next candle, price closes around here, pushes, around here, and then, this fails to break above this high, then we have a high impact news event, then a lower time frame cracking correlation, right? Lower than the daily time frame, then we can expect a reversal. Price will fall back within this range. Right, I have my eyes on these lows and these lows. So as long as there is a cracking correlation that is, that covers a wider range than this cracking correlation here, whereas you have this being a failure swing for the NASDAQ and this being a stop run for the Dow, and I will expect, a reversal. Right, the markets have been going crazy since lately, but we have been on the right track, especially, and you need to pay attention to this, especially when it comes to the futures triad, right? We are really wrong when it comes to the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ, right? It's our concepts are based on these assets, right? These are the assets that I've traded the most. These are the assets that I've made the most money. These are the assets that, I backtest the most on. So almost everything that you guys learn are based off of these assets, these 3 assets right here, right? They're the easiest to read. It's the easiest to see a correct correlation, right? They're just the best. Here you guys can see that we had S&P between the NASDAQ and the S&P 500, right? This is not something that I would consider as sequential, but it is an SMT, right? And you can see that, just based off of this alone, where we had SMT, price expanded. When you have SMT at the base, right, of a setup, of course, and you have symmetrical price action, right, before, right, the expansion, it's very obvious that price will be drawn to these levels, right? And someone, I think it's Gamer or Jim Trades, I'm sorry if I butchered your name, right? He mentioned the 5-minute precision swing point at 9:30 a.m. That's something that we were, going to talk about. But I'm happy that you guys, know of it already from a new day opening gap. Thank you, Marius. And yes. So as you have symmetrical price action here, and listen, If you have symmetrical press action here, and this is literally you just raw dogging press action, just looking at it, just not even considering quadrilateral theory, right? Once you have symmetrical press action of these highs, right? Then you have any type of SMT here, right? As long as, right, price drops below a true session open or just a true open, you can be bullish, right? Just based on the fact that this is a correcting correlation and this is symmetrical price action at these highs. This is real liquidity. Real liquidity is based off of symmetrical price action. And here we have the 5-minute time frame, right? So the 5-minute time frame relates to the 90-minute cycles, right? So each of these boxes here, these rectangles, here represent 90-minute cycles, quarters, right? So here you can see that we traded below this low, right? And the closure doesn't matter as long as there's a persistent swing point, right? And tell me, like, this is amazing, right? This is just amazing. And I understand we see this over and over and over and over and over, but it still amazes me every time that I found this, that this works, that no one else talks about this or has talked about this before. Right? Literally, look, the low right here. What is it? Low of the session? What is it? The low of the 9-minute cycle, what is it? It's a precision swing point. Bro. Listen, it's a precision swing point. I traded below this low there. We'll see sequential SMT. Then a precision swing point. Are you understanding what's happening right now? Do you see do you see this right now? On a day that should be low probability, the base of the only expansion is a precision swing point which follows a sequential SMT. What does this mean? We see it happening over and over in regards to the weekly cycle, right? 1 hour time frame relates to the weekly cycle. You have sequential SMT, then you have a precision swing point. It's over. That's it. Now you can see this right here, an example occurring on the 5-minute time frame, which relates to the 90-minute cycles. It's fractal. It works. And it's always there. I saw, a lot of you guys, on Twitter, you took the same setup. You're tagging me, right? I couldn't retweet everyone, right? I had a lot of things that I had to be taken care of. I was pretty busy. Retweeted a few, but yeah, that's that. But do you see what's happening? And the thing that you need to understand that this is, right, even though, right, first of all, ICT's quote-unquote order block, it's not, it doesn't block orders like this. What is this? This is a high probability precision swing point. I've been talking about this for so long, but I guess not everyone caught on to it. But a precision swing point that forms right after a sequential SMT is a high probability order block. You get it now. You have this knowledge. Literally, no one's better than you. Like only you guys that's watching this right now know this, right? And this is one of the reasons why one of the main reasons why I want to take a break, right? I just want to see what happens over a year of me just being with you guys. If there's like someone that's now sharing information that they shouldn't share, if there's someone just, trying to claim this as their own, which, if you go out, you want to teach, you want to do whatever you want to do, work for a firm, a big corporations, I don't care. The only thing I, care about is, the people that pretend as if they're the ones that found this information. Because it's crazy. It's amazing. It's always there. How do you know when a load of session is going to form? With this. But what's important? Like, what should I understand? How do I make it easy? What, for the 5-minute time frame? You need to be working with the 90-minute cycles. You need to have a 5-minute clicking correlation, a 5-minute sequential SMT, which means that you need to have a clicking correlation between the quarters of the 90-minute cycles, followed by a precision swing point. For the 50-minute time frame, listen, and right, this is important as well. These highs right here, they're symmetrical, right? So here, there was no stop run, there was no SMT. Here, there was no stop run, there was no SMT. Price will be drawn to these levels as long as we have a correct clicking correlation here. I think I'm even talking too much. I think you should understand already. I think you should know what's going on here, right? I haven't even talked about the premium and discount that occurs, right? Whenever a precision swing point is formed after a clicking correlation, right? 5 and 8 time frame precision swing point goes with a 5 and 8 time frame sequential SMT, which relates to the 90-minute cycles, right? Which one is stronger, a precision swing point or a precision candle? A precision swing point will always beat a precision candle. But at the end of the day, that does not matter because you're using risk management, correct? And at the end of the day, you don't give a shit what happens. You win, you don't care. Yo, I made $10,000 today. I made $50,000. I made $100,000 today. Do I care? No. Next trade. Next time you lose, I don't care. You win, I don't care. You win, I don't care. You win, I don't care. This is the way you need to approach this thing. I hope you found this useful. We will be back next week. The schedule for next week's live streams will be posted before 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday. Hope that you took something away from this. Right? It should be easy for you now. To understand these things, to see these things. Right? If it's not, then you just haven't been paying attention enough. And that's okay, right? You can work at your own pace. You'll be here forever, literally as long as my heart is beating, as long as I'm alive. Hope God, protects me. Right? With that being said, I hope that you took something away from this. Good luck and good trading. Ciao.